Most people's testimonial videos look like they were shot, in a hostage situation. They look bad. With a little bit of cinematic touch, all of a sudden your coaching program, your business is in a higher level. Your people are all around the country and you don't have live events. So how do you solve that issue? Well, maybe you work with Nico over at Origin Story Media, where we have the solution. That is, to my knowledge, unheard of. I invented it myself. Imagine we ship your client everything they need, including the instructions on how to do it themselves. So they get the equipment for a week. You get footage that is as good as your program, and people will feel that, and it'll matter. So as you might know, this business is about 1 week old at this point. Origin Story Media, brand new concept. I literally came up with the idea 7 days ago. And here we are on the third monologue. If you include the training, basically the Origin method, that's the way we capture these monologues and basically have this weekly rhythm. I'm doing that every day instead of weekly for 30 days just to prove the concept. And I realized, without even meaning to do it this way, that the very first training video I filmed on the bluffs, I got B-roll, and then I filmed like a short pitch that's on the website. And so those are the 3 parts of the Origin method: the monologue, the short, and the B-roll. And I did it all that first day when I filmed the training. So technically, I could count my 30 days that day. So this is day 3. Technically should be the second or third, I guess, video on YouTube, right? Because there's the first monologue, the first short, really we're the second, and then this is the third. Getting a little into the weeds, aren't I? But my point is, this is a brand new business, and so you'll forgive me if I forgot to include what I realize is one of the most important pieces. And I didn't think of this until this morning, in a way. And let me walk you back a bit. I have worked with coaches before, and as their video guy. And I there's one person in particular that I'm thinking of who is amazing. He's an amazing coach, and he provides these amazing transformations for people. He does it all virtually. There isn't a single live event, and he never sees his clients in person, which is fine. But we were using his testimonial videos, and the testimonial videos came from Zoom interviews and even like people just using their cell phone. And that's all we had. And it was very low quality. The cell phone footage looks grainy and bad, and the lighting's terrible. The audio is even worse. And audio is extremely important. By the way, this, I'm using a mic right here, obviously. I'm using mics. It's actually windy right now. I hope this is sounding okay. I think it is. It's not that windy, and it's kind of protected a little bit. But the point is, most testimonial videos that you might get from virtual clients are going to look bad and they're going to sound bad. And it doesn't hit the same as high quality testimony that looks like a video production team captured it. Problem is, how would you solve that issue? Like, I was thinking about this coach and how I could help him. I'm like, I don't know how to help him. Like, what do I do? Go around the country to his clients and film them one at a time? Doesn't seem economically feasible. Do we manufacture a live event just to get testimony video? I considered that. I was trying to pitch that to him. And then it dawned on me. It was almost like a seed of this Origin Story Media and the Origin method itself and this whole idea. But it was realizing, man, it isn't that hard to get high quality video. In fact, you could probably have a little video tutorial or even laminated instructions and have somebody film themselves using a single camera, a lens, and this microphone and a tripod, and it would, look like a video production company did it. Pretty much. I mean, not exactly, but especially if you're like, hey, listen, go outside in good sunlight, have depth behind you, maybe in a natural setting. All of a sudden, you know, the testimonial video is going to be banging. And it's just that extra bit of production value, basically, all of a sudden makes you feel like a premium coach who has, like, you know, these amazing testimonies that look amazing. Like imagine if you could do that. Well, still there's a problem because, yeah, this equipment is not super expensive. That's the point of the origin method. You know, 1,500 bucks tops, depending on if you're using the slider, you know, a couple little things. That's still too much for a testimony video. Like, you're not gonna ask your client to purchase a video, you know, that, wait a second. Then I started thinking, what if we sent the camera as like a little equipment kit? You know, you open it up and all that it has is this single lens you need, autofocus lens. It has the instructions, it has the card ready to go, the battery ready to go, you know, everything is ready to go. And, you know, you have them interview themselves or have someone around them that they can help them. And all this, you know, basically you could just send that kit to the next testimonial video you need. And then to the next person. You could kind of, in my head, I was imagining like we could work this out and then you could get this amazing video. Now, in that particular coach, and I don't know if I floated that idea to him or not, or I was just thinking about it, but we didn't end up doing that idea. But this morning, once again, I realized that's a brilliant idea. I've never heard of that before. It's almost like a ghost production team where we don't exist, but we send you what you need to get beautiful footage, and then you send it back. You know, it's just brilliant. And you wouldn't want, like, I don't want my partners, my media partners, or whatever, the coaching partners in this media partnership, to send their equipment out and worry about all that. And because you know, the whole point is that we're talking to our camera at least on a weekly basis, and we're getting B-roll at least on a weekly basis to build our own bank. And I don't even want them to have to think about that. That's not the point. The point is you're teaming up with me and my team, so we handle all that stuff, and all you do is the only pieces that you need to do, which is speak to the camera and curate, you know, the next topic, and get a little bit of B-roll woven into your life, and maybe do a short now and again, you know, a cinematic kind of like poetic piece that you just say to the, you know, in briefly, because these are super long. Obviously, you know, a little shorter stuff will be good to use as we build this bank of all these pieces we need to create amazing films, you know, remixes of all this stuff. Anyway, I'm getting excited. I love this idea. I already loved this idea. Already felt full alignment. Already know I can help people. Already realize I have helped people. Not exactly in this way, but, you know, I mean, obviously I've done my wedding films, and I've done some, you know, filmmaking, film school and filming in high school and all this stuff. I have all this experience, but I just mean I've even worked with coaches to create content for them. And some of these ideas are literally like me trying to problem solve, because I was working with remote coaches. I'm away from them and they're away from their clients. And so how do we film this stuff? Like without, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars of me flying everywhere and filming all this stuff and the equipment. Like, it's just one equipment kit that gets moving around place to place. How cool is that? That's what we're gonna do here at Origin Story Media for our partners. And I'm thinking, you know, it could be as simple as like every partner gets 4 client testimonials just included in that annual membership. So once a quarter, maybe you pick somebody and they're going to give you some amazing footage like this, you know, where it sounds good, it looks good. And we have now amazing testimony video that's at the caliber of the rest of our footage, our monologues, our B-roll, our, you know, and our shorts. And really whatever else we come up with, because maybe some of you will be able to like film your stuff, whatever you do as you're coaching. You know, there may be events that you can film kind of cinematically like this, or have a team member do. and, add that to the bank, and all of a sudden, your content just compounding, getting better and better and better. The editor has more and more to work with. And at the end of the day, your client is more and more like, wow, like I'm connecting to this person and to this idea and to this philosophy and whatever it is. So that's the new idea. I'm tacking it on to the website. I'm including it in the website. I'm thinking about even somehow mentioning it in the training because it's so good. But then I was like, should I tack it on to the end of the training? Because I like the training, actually. I like how the training is. It's 40 minutes. It's to the point. You should go watch it. Have you watched it yet? It's on the website. It's free training. But, that's it. The way that I'm doing this, it's all, it's different than I usually operate. And that's kind of part of this business, is like learning my own lessons. I'm somebody that overthinks, overanalyzes, has a million ideas, visions a billion things. The actual shipping the next piece, just getting something out and then iterating on that, I see the value in that. I know that's a better method of going about business and even creative projects and stuff. But I tend to get lost in thought, analysis, paralysis, all those things. I'm not doing that this time. With this business, and partly it's because I have so much conviction. I just know this is going to work, and like I know the method is sound, and I know that this little cinematic touch it's going to be amazing for people to realize, hey, anybody could do that. Like literally last night, the second night, the first monologues, essentially, that's not the training. It was my dad getting the B-roll. And my dad, he had to get his glasses. He's like, this is going to be terrible. I'm so sorry, Nico. Like, I tried my best. And I was like, Dad, you know what? Thank you for helping me. And honestly, if it's terrible and none of it is usable, that's part of the process. You see, it's not about that one thing. It's not about that one shoot. We're doing this weekly. I'm doing this daily. And so if 1 or 2 or 3 shoots are bad, it doesn't matter. We've got 50 more throughout the year that we're going to do. I mean, imagine each B-roll shoot is a little scene. We're going to have 52 scenes if you are, disciplined. 52 little B-roll scenes. 10 of them could be trash. It doesn't matter. We're going to have some really good stuff in there. And so I thanked my dad and I said, you know what, if none of it's usable, Dad, it's part of the process. I'm not expecting you to be a filmmaker. Just have a little bit of fun and we'll see what comes out of it. Guess what? I throw his footage, I slow it down. Yeah, is like half of it out of focus and whatever? Sure. But guess what? There's some cool moments in there. And I kind of know what I'm doing too. Like I'll get up close to the camera, I'll kind of pull back, kind of imagine what might look cool for the cameraman. Like I'm working, because I kind of know. But still, I was like, you take a few moments, you slow it down and you put music to it with the sunlight, and the flares and the in and out of focus, the cinematic touch. And all of a sudden it's like, whoa, here's the beautiful stuff that people pay me tons of money to do. It's my dad doing it in his backyard. It's because it's the lens, it's because of the light, and it's because of the movement on the slider. I am sticking to the slider for now because I know that it's real easy. That person's going to be very steady, but also have movement as best as they can. People kind of forget to move, I think, but it's going phenomenally with the slider. At some point, I will start experimenting more with the handheld on the backpack, like I show in the training. So then people don't even need the slider. But for now, because I know the slider will work, I'm relying on the slider for the B-roll shoots. But I literally tell people 15 minutes tops. I set a timer, and that includes me showing them the camera. Basically, a couple minutes of showing them what to do, and then I hit record and I say, when that hits 10 minutes, you're done. And I might even help move the slider and tripod around for them. Be like, hey, is that good out there? You want me to move it over here? Yeah, cool. We'll move it. So, you can obviously be working with the cameraman and helping them, setting them up, moving in the tripod every couple minutes. But 10 minutes of footage is all you need. It's like the one scene somewhere in there, get closer, get farther. It's working. I knew it would work because I know I'm not, I do have the, 15 years of doing this. Like I have the movement down. I know how to use the lens. I can do some advanced techniques, but I know it's not that complicated, and that I can't wait. My daughter has been out of town, but when she's able to kind of get used to this, she's 9 years old and she's going to love this. It's going to be so fun for her and it's going to look amazing. I just know it. And, like I said, my dad last night, there's some pieces in there that are usable. And I was just in his backyard. Like, I guess I'll just look at this fruit tree, right? I guess I'll I don't know, sweep his, like the leaves off the ground. Cause sometimes you might not know what to do. You're like, this is the environment. What am I doing here? You might just be chatting with a friend. You might be, I actually forgot I was going to be like talking on my voice memo, on my phone, leaving a voice memo, because that is so much of my life. It's like, oh, I got this idea right now, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, the method's going smoothly. For me, again, easy to do this. Like I get excited about this. The B-roll, easy to do. It's kind of fun right now. I'm also, every time I ask somebody, like I'm having a second camera filming them to prove to you all that it's just random people, sometimes strangers, sometimes my dad, whoever. It doesn't have to be the different person every time. I'm hoping my 9-year-old gets pretty good, because she's with me all the time. So, yeah, I'd say things are going really well. And I'm even tired today. I actually woke up, it was kind of funny, like doubting this whole thing. For the first time in a week, like kind of feeling some feelings of doubt. And it's mostly because this is a hypothesis to some extent. This is day 3 of this method. I don't have, I haven't even posted the videos. I'm a little bit behind on things in a sense. I'm making sure I stick to my monologues and stuff, but I was hoping to launch last night. It's been a long story. The website is good though. And like I'm literally launching tonight. So the first videos on YouTube will be last night's stuff and that'll be tonight. So it kind of makes sense actually. There's like a 1-day lag basically. It gives me a chance to kind of edit things up. But I was hoping the website would be done and everything. The training video would be there and stuff last night. It didn't quite finish. Almost there. It's still like just 7 days. I can't believe from inception of the idea to execution of like the offer in the website, which I'm really proud of. Of course, how did I do the website? Iterating it with AI, with Claude. It's just amazing. Like I'm just like blown away, like holy moly. Like from the design, just the way it's laid out, it's nothing crazy. Hopefully I'll make it look even more better, even more beautiful at some point, but for now, like just the design, it's just communicating all this information and the offer itself. And of course the copy, the way it's presented, I've been iterating it and it just looks good and it sounds good. I'm like, man, it would probably have taken me months and months to create something that probably still wouldn't have been as good as this. If I was trying to just build the website myself from scratch and figure out all the language and the headlines. And, we've made it in a week, me and Claude. And so it's just incredible, really. It's like, it's this business idea, Origin Story Media, is like an alignment for me and my experience and my skill sets and what brings me energy. But it's also the sort of the nexus between, camera technology getting to the point where it's so easy and relatively cheap to get really high quality looking stuff, even though a lot of people still don't do that. And then AI getting to the point where it can help us, well, of course, build offers and stuff, but AI is going to really be a creative partner in the way that we organize our thoughts and just speed up this process in terms of, of course, I'm talking about the website, but I mean that even the way that we're going to be using it to analyze kind of the way that we are connecting and what messages seem to be clearest and strongest for our ideal client, for our true fans, all this stuff. So this is an AI friendly business, I guess you could say. I've become more and more AI friendly as I'm like, wow, this is really helpful actually. And it's not that I'm less authentic. It actually just allows me to get into my genius space, my fun space, my creative space, because I like ideas. I like the drama. The actually, designing the website and all the copy and all that and like really presenting it in the perfect way. The nitty gritty of that, I'm like less, show me what you got. Okay, cool. This is working. Actually, this would be better. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. That's what I love to do. And, you know, in a way, what we're doing here too is like, I mean, there are people just, you know, you can clone your voice and you know, make your avatar, and now you don't even have to show up in front of the camera. It's like, okay, well, you know, what are we gonna do? Everyone's gonna be watching their AI avatars? That's ridiculous. Like, I think it's cool. I mean, movie making, who knows what's possible and what's gonna be happening soon. And the idea that you can just conceive of like, you know, entire plots and characters and stuff, and then just create a film from your own ideas is really, you know, next level science fiction stuff. But it looks like it's becoming possible. But for, you know, connecting human to human, I mean, this, like I said, we're going to be using AI, but at the same time, only to support the actual real connection that happens through this video, and through just being present here for 7 hours, and, you know, again, creating some cinematic artistic stuff as well that you know, is part of this ecosystem of content that we're creating. So I think that's good for today. Day 3 of my 30-day challenge of doing the origin method, where I came up with what might be called the origin capture system, which is where we send our clients' videos, instructions, and basically just make it so easy for them to get content that looks as good as this, sound as good as this, for, you know, for just part of being in our program. And like, it's a good program. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait to like get some clients and really start partnering with people on this, because that's when this thing really becomes legit. And my hope is that I get a sale in this 30 days. Like, that's my hope. That's my, I think I hear a drone, actually. A drone. Drones, by the way, will be part of the program. I don't have that on the website. I'm not going to talk about that too much, because I feel like if people go drone, like, oh, I don't want to be a filmmaker. And I'm like, look, you're not going to be a filmmaker. Drones are really easy. It's kind of like as easy as anything else here. Like, the technology with drones at this point is ridiculously crazy easy, and they're not very expensive. You can get used ones. That's what everything I buy is pretty much used, by the way, because the used stuff works great. Anyway, day 3, one sale this month would just icing on the cake. Imagine that. Imagine the story of Origin Story Media. The origin story of Origin Story Media. Nico came up with the idea, had it launched within a week, and then proved the concept in 30 days by repetitions of the method itself, which are designed to be weekly, but he did it daily just to speed up this process, since I'm starting from scratch. You know, many of you probably won't be starting from scratch. You'll have clients, whatever. But yeah, I'm really, really optimistic that I will convince one of you by the end of this 30-day sprint to partner with me. And if I can convince one person to partner with me, game on. Game on. Because then it'd be game on.